everyone, and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have a Sulani family home, which if you have been here before, if you know anything about my channel, you will know that that is very foreign for me to say because I don't build in this world. I adore Sulani, I think it's really, really beautiful, but I just never build here. I built here a couple of months ago. I built a wedding venue here, and that was the first time in literally like 2 or 3 years that I'd built in Sulani. And again, I love Sulani, it's so pretty, but I am not familiar at all with the architectural style, and landscaping in this world can be very difficult. So I shy away from this world a lot of the time, but because I am working on my save file and stuff like that, like I knew I needed to start somewhere in this world. I think I have in total, I do have a few lots built here already for my save file. I have this one, I have the wedding venue, and then I have a few others that I built actually before my channel. So yeah, I do have some lots built there, but yeah, I knew I needed to work on it, and so I built this a couple of months ago. I think I built this in March. I did share a progress picture on Pinterest, no, on Twitter when I was building it, and a lot of people did seem to like it, so that really made me happy. I will say now though, this is not accurate at all to the architectural style and interior style that is meant for this world. I tried my best, but I probably should have done more research, but I didn't. So I'm sorry about that. But I did go off from a picture from Pinterest, which I will pull up here on the screen. But I did take some creative liberty with it, and if I remember correctly, again, it's been a few months since I did see that picture, but if I remember correctly, I decided to redo some stuff because when I went in and like the first time I built the shell, I've talked about this before, and I know that a lot of other people that build a lot also do this, that when they have a picture they're going off from Pinterest or just from your mind too, a lot of the time we will kind of like build a shell once and then like see that it works and then delete that and then redo it on camera, and so I did do this do that for this video. There we go. I am so sorry, I'm so out of it. It's fine though, it's fine. I will be ranting about it later, don't worry. If you care, which you don't. I know that anyone is probably more like, please don't rant, but it's my channel, so of course you're gonna get some rants, but that's later. But yeah, no, I went off the picture and I did take some creative liberty because like it just didn't work out completely with that, but I do really end up loving this house. I think it's a very like cozy house, which is probably not what I would describe like Sulani to be like, if that makes sense, but I just think it's very like homey and cozy, and I would actually love to live here. I say, but also I wouldn't, because I'm not a big fan of like warmer climates. I'm a cool temperature kind of gal, you know, if that makes any type of sense. But I don't know, maybe it's because I am from Sweden and like obviously we don't have the warmest climate here, and even here like summer, no. I don't like summer. I don't. I say as we're literally in summer right now, but yeah, no, it's just I get very like, I get warm easily, but also I get really easily burnt, like extremely easily. I blame my ginger genes on that. Like I'm not a ginger, I have like strawberry blonde hair naturally. Currently I have blue hair, but I have strawberry blonde hair normally, or like naturally. But my dad's like on my dad's side of the family, there are some gingers, and my brother like is a ginger, not a full-blown ginger, but like sorta, and my dad too, and so I blame it on that I'm just very easily burnt. But it's fine. But yeah, no, so I would like to live in this house, but maybe not in Sulani because like the warmer climate, and I don't really like the beach. I like the beach at night. I've talked about this before. I like the beach at night, but otherwise I don't. So it's, you know, it's whatever. Anyways, this house is for 2 parents, 2 teens, and 2 kids, and a cat, if I remember correctly. I am not 100% sure on that, but I know there are 4 bedrooms for like, I was gonna say offspring, but that sounds really, really bad, but like kids or teens or whatever, and I know there are no rooms for infants or toddlers, so I believe that is how I divided up onto 2 teens and 2 kids, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just gonna go with that. hopefully it's correct. I did edit this like recently, but again I built it back in March, and I will talk about it later too, but currently again I'm out of it, my mind is not with me, so I do apologize for this voiceover too. It's not gonna be great, but yeah, again, I love this house. I love like every single part of it. I love obviously like the kitchen and the living room and stuff like that. I do love the exterior too. I played around a little bit with the terrain tool, which again, I don't do a lot of the time. I find it very hard to use, but I decided with this one I did want to play around with it, and I do really like how it ends up looking, and I like the little like pool area, and there's like a dining space where I put a pergola, but then I kind of fenced in the pergola with some windows from Island Living, and it looks so cozy. And then I put obviously fairy lights because it's me, and I would love to have like dinners there, and there's obviously a pool and stuff like that, and there's like side yards, and there's a lot of outdoor space in this house. There are a lot of balconies. I think there are like, if we count porches as balconies, I think there are like 5 or 6 of them. And I don't think I show you me decorating all of them because they are very much similar. But I show you most of them. I believe I did start editing this like a month or 2 ago. So I don't actually remember what I edited out from the beginning part, but yeah. And otherwise I just edit out like normal stuff. This video, when I put it in my editing software and sped it up, it was 2 hours long after I sped it up. Not even kidding. So I did have to edit out some stuff. Like, I am surprised I got it down to 40. I haven't even put in the screenshots yet, which is rare. I usually do that, but for some reason I haven't. But like the speed build itself is like 45 minutes, and I am surprised I got it down to that because wow, this was a video to edit. But I was and I am very excited to share this. So hopefully you guys like it. And yeah, also I wanted to apologize if you hear any background noise. I have my balcony door open because, again, it is summer now, and my room gets super hot because I have, again, like in my room I have a balcony, and to the balcony I have like a door, and the top part of the door, if that makes sense, is glass, and then right next to it, there are 2 big windows, like huge windows, and it's facing where the sun comes in. So my room is like it gets so hot during summer because like it gets like all the heat. So yeah, I'm just dying in here right now. And yeah, so I'm sorry. I would close my balcony door for this, but it's too warm. Like I can't. I am sorry. I can't. So if you hear any like birds chirping or chirping, there we go. I have a problem with pronouncing the CH sound as an SH sound and vice versa. So if you hear me say the wrong thing, I am sorry. That's why like I've talked about it before, but like not always talked about it, but I have talked about it before that I have always struggled with saying shell challenge correctly because I keep saying chell challenge because like I don't know why. Maybe it's because of like my Swedish brain, but yeah. So I am sorry for saying that wrong. But anyways, yeah, if you can hear any background noise or like any cars or anything like that, hopefully the music drowns it out. But I'm not sure. I do live in a very, very small place. However, I live in a touristy summer town, or place. So the one time I do have my window open is when there is a lot of traffic here. Because, of course, I live by the coast. So that's why, like there's a lot of people coming here for, the beach. But then also there's a lot of people coming here for like, they have like vacation homes here. So yeah, it's a fun time. It's great. It's great. But yeah, for the house, by the way, I went with a very like neutral color scheme, both on exterior and interior. I don't know, I feel like Sulani could either be like very colorful or very neutral, and I wanted this to be like very neutral, and so I stayed kind of close to home with like what I'm comfortable with. So again, there's a lot of like Mal things in this house. There's a lot of books everywhere, a lot of plants everywhere, a lot of fairy lights everywhere. It's very cozy and welcoming and stuff like that. Like it's very much like, you can see it's my house, but it's built here. So hopefully you guys like it, I hope. And also, speaking of books, I am in love with the new Book Nook kit. I am currently working on an apartment, which hopefully you will see next week or later this week, one of the two. I'm not sure yet. Depends on when I finish it and like how fast I'm editing. But I am in love with that new kit, and the grunge kit like looks so good. Which, by the way, also, if I am getting this video out when I hope I am, I am currently doing a giveaway on my Twitter because of the EA Creator Network. I was able to get a code for each of the new kits to give away. So I am doing the giveaway for that. So if you go over to my Twitter, you can participate in that. All you have to do is like and retweet the tweet, and then also what else was it? Oh, to comment your favorite emoji, but like I won't pick the winners because of the emoji. I'm picking the winners like completely randomly. I just wanted to see a lot of fun emojis. But yeah, so if you want to go and do that, you can do it. The giveaway ends on June 7th at 8 p.m. CEST. Is that how you say it? I think so. Central European time, summertime. There you go. So yeah, and then I will be picking the winners. And yeah, it's my first giveaway I'm ever doing, and I'm very excited about it. And I hope you guys like it too, and I hope you guys are the people who wins. Because there's gonna be 2 winners. Like, one gets the grunge kit and one gets the book nook kit. And so yeah, but the book nook kit is like basically made for me. Like, I swear to God. And it's so amazing. I love it. And so yeah, I'm probably gonna rant about books later in this video when I have nothing else to rant about, because I've gone back into reading, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, there are a few more things though I want to mention about this house before I go on a lot of rants. Again, the kids' rooms and stuff like that. I don't know which one is my favorite. I don't know. There is a sort of like red one, there's a blue one, there's sort of like a yellow/neutral one, and there's a purple one, and the purple one is really purple, but I love it because if you didn't know, I have a weird obsession with purple. Like, not a weird obsession, but I do have an obsession with purple. And you gotta love purple, honestly. And yeah, so I do love the bedroom, but then I really do like the red bedroom too, and the blue bedroom. I did this thing with it which I've been meaning to do. I don't remember when I did it last, but I remember I did a couple years ago too. But we have these like toy planes in the game, and if you raise them up so they're kind of like floating in the air, and then use something that could look like it's hanging from the ceiling. I used a pole from the Toddler Puck. How did I do that? Taller pack. But you can use like anything else that looks kind of like a pole or something like that you can kind of, I don't know, raise up, like size down and then raise up and have it in the ceiling, so it kind of looks like the plane is like hanging from the ceiling, and I love it so much. It looks so cute, and I see it a lot when I'm like looking at interior design and stuff like that. Like, I see it a lot of the time. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a thing that you do in kids' rooms, I guess, but it looks so cute. So yeah, and again, it's not like a functional item. I wish we had something like that though that would like spin, but it doesn't. But yeah, and it doesn't block anything. I've playtested this entire build, by the way, and from what I remember, there like is nothing that doesn't work. I don't actually know, but again, in the screenshots, like when at the end of the video, how you see it there is exactly how it's going to be if you download this from the gallery, which, by the way, you can download this from the gallery if you want to. My gallery ID is Sims04, and you can also get the tray files, which are linked down below. There we go. But yeah, so I do really love that room, and there's also an office, by the way, in this house, and there's a room that I didn't really know what to do with, because like the floor plan, like this house is huge, like it's huge. Again, it has like five bedrooms. It has 5 bedrooms, 1 office, and then it has this extra room which I didn't know what to do with, and like you could make it into another bedroom if you want to, or a hobby room or whatever, but I didn't really feel like I didn't want another bedroom and stuff like that, so I kind of just made it into our room. Like, there's a piano in there, there's a few like other activity rooms. Oh my, why do I keep saying rooms to everything? There are a few other activity items, there we go, in that room. So yeah, I hope you guys like that too. It's a weird room, but like, again, if you want to have another bedroom or whatever, you can definitely make that into whatever you like. And yeah, what else? I don't think there's anything else about this build. I don't think so. You never know. I apologize for my voice. I apologize for being gone for so long. A lot of stuff is going on right now in my life. I am currently, in all honesty, not okay. There's a lot going on, and it has been a lot the last month, but especially like the past couple of days, there's been a lot. And you might be like, but if there's currently, like, why are you turning to YouTube now? Honestly, I need the distraction. And I need things to do to, like, you know, distract myself. I'm very thankful to have my friends and family, because like without them, I don't know what I would do right now, but I'm very thankful to have them. But like, it's a lot going on, so I hope you guys kind of understand if I'm not posting regularly. Also, if you watched any of my videos like either if you were here then or if you have gone back and watched any of my videos from then, from I guess like January when I returned from taking a break for a few months, I talked about how I in October messed up my hand. I injured my hand playing too much Valorant. Like normally you would injure your hand, like if you say you have an injured hand, you would be like, oh, like did you play a sport, did you fall, like what did you do? No, I played too much Valorant. And I'm not used to those types of games, I guess, and so my hand just like, I was like, no. Also, there's a bird currently chirping so aggressively. I'm so sorry if you can hear it. It's so aggressive. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, like I played too much Val, and so I messed up my hand, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like messed up, and it's been okay. Like I went to a doctor back then, and they like I got some things and stuff like that for it, and it's been kind of all right. But then again, within the last like month, together with everything else, my hand got like messed up again. Like it's bad again. So I haven't really been allowed to play any games. I haven't been allowed to like edit. I haven't been allowed to do like anything on my PC. I've been on my PC like talking to people because again all my friends are like on Discord and stuff like that. So I've been on my PC, but I haven't been playing any games. I haven't been doing really anything. The only things I've been doing the past like month is watching stuff, reading, and listening to music. That is all I've been doing and talking to people. And so yeah, I am sorry, but like and I have talked about it a little bit on Twitter too, but yeah, so I am sorry for not having videos out, but health goes first always. So yeah, which I'm not good, like I'm not good at taking my own advice. Like I say that now, I usually don't put my health first, but I knew in this instance I had to, because otherwise like I don't want this to be like a permanent thing in my hand. So yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a break from stuff, but I'm getting slowly back into it now. But again, I don't know how frequent my videos and builds will be, but yeah, hopefully I can at least like edit a little bit. I did talk about how I ordered a like left-handed mouse because it's my right hand, so it's my mouse hand, and I thought that if I had like a left-handed mouse it would help. It's not. I'm actually going to return that because I realized that like sure, I'm using my left hand on my mouse, but that means that I have to use my right hand on my keyboard, and that just made it worse, so I'm gonna return that. But yeah, so that kind of sucks, but at least I'm trying to figure some things out to make this work, because I do again really want to post videos. I miss you guys. I miss playing Sims. I miss playing other games. I miss everything. But again, I have been taking up reading again because I've been wanting to read. Like, if you didn't know, I am a big reader, and I started reading back in I really got into reading back in 2019, and then when I started my channel in 2020, I was still like reading a lot, and then the last couple of years I just haven't been reading as much. There's been a lot of other things going on in my life, as I've talked about before, so I haven't really made it a priority. But then now that since I quit school, I've been wanting to get back into it, but I just haven't had the motivation. It's been it's like I've been in a permanent reading slump. If anyone who reads can relate to that, you get what I mean. But I am back into reading, and I am so happy. I love reading. I love consuming stories and just getting set into another world or another place in the world or whatever. And yeah, it's so nice. I read a lot of my favorite genres to read, which by the way, if you have any book recommendations, let me know. I will link my Goodreads below, by the way, if you want to be friends on Goodreads, which is such a weird thing, but if you're a reader you will know what I mean. But yeah, you can add me there if you want to. But if you want to know what genres I read a lot of what do I read? Magical realism is probably my favorite genre, and then I read a lot of mystery, thriller, horror, fantasy, more light fantasy. I'm not a fan of high fantasy, if that makes sense. That's not my thing really. And some sci-fi and contemporary always, and romance always. So yeah, and I read in all age ranges, not middle grade. And I'm reading less and less YA, which makes sense because I am 19 now, so it makes sense that I'm kind of I don't know, steering away a little bit from reading young adults, but I am reading a lot of adult otherwise and new adults. But yeah, So if you have any book recommendations, let me know. What books have I been reading? It all kind of started with me, like, when I decided, like, I want to get back into reading. I read, because, like, I have, like, more than 50 books on my physical TBR. So I was like, I have a lot of books to read. And so I started with Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And I would say the author, but I don't know how to pronounce it because it's originally a Japanese book that was translated into English. And it was so good. I really loved it. If you didn't know, it's about, I think a lot of people have heard about it, but it's about basically like time travel in a cafe, but there are a lot of like rules about it, and you can only, like, you have to return before your coffee gets cold. And it's like divided into 4 parts kind of, and at first I thought it was going to be like 4 like, kind of like short stories, but it wasn't. Like, they all definitely like are interwoven. Is that how you say that? I think so. They all kind of like have, like, I don't know, they have to do with each other basically. And I know that a lot of people cry during reading it, and I did, but I know a lot of people cry during I think it's the second story, The Husband and the Wife. I didn't cry during that, and I think that's just because it talks about Alzheimer's. That's not like what's it called? That is not a spoiler. Like, it's a trigger warning, if anything. Like, a lot of people know that. But yeah, it's about like that one is concerning Alzheimer's, and it's not a thing in my family, so I don't think I could relate to it as much. However, the third story, The Sisters, I cried so much. Like, oh my god. And I also cried during the last story. It was so good. But yeah, I think I gave it like 4.5 or something like that stars, but it was really good. And also I finally read the Inheritance Games. I've been meaning to get to that for a long time, and I finally read it and I liked it. I've realized that like it was kind of while reading that I realized that I'm getting out of YA, especially YA mystery. I think YA contemporary is still my thing, but like YA mystery, I think I'm going back to a little bit. I actually bought the second book in that series today, so I am gonna read that soon too, hopefully at least. But yeah, no, I did really like it, but I don't know, it's something about it that I'm kind of like shying away from. And this is gonna be a very random fact about me, but like, especially during the beginning part of the book, I had a hard time getting into it because the beginning part of the book seemed so much like a Wattpad story for me, and I don't know, some people are gonna be like, what? Huh? It does? But it did, because in 2020, I got really into Wattpad. Like, really. I never read fan fiction, like, that's not my thing. If that's your thing, good for you. It's never been my thing. But I did read a lot on Wattpad, and I read a lot of stories on Wattpad that was kind of similar to that, and I was like, is this a Wattpad story? Like, was this originally a Wattpad story? It wasn't, but it did kind of seem like it, so it definitely felt a little like, it definitely felt like YA, basically. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still excited to like continue in it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I used to be like really, really into YA mystery. Like, that used to be my favorite genre. But again, now magical realism has my heart. Like, I swear, I love magical realism. I think it all kind of started with the Raven Boys, which I have talked about before so many times, but the Raven Boys, or the Raven Cycle, as the entire series is called, is my favorite, book series of all time. My favorite book of all time is Summer Sons, which is very close to that. Like, a lot of people have said it is like basically like a Raven Boys inspired book, and I will admit that, like, yeah, but it's also adult and like horror, and it's so good. I love that book. I think I read that last year. But the Raven Cycle I read in 2019. At least like I think I read the entirety of it in 2019. I know I read the first 3 books at least. Yeah, no, I would have read like all of them at the same time, I think. Or not at the same time, but yeah. In 2019. And yeah, it's such a good series. If you didn't know what that series is about, it's a very hard series to explain. But again, it's magical realism. You follow a few different characters, but it's all kind of centered around a girl named Blue, whose family are all psychics, and which, by the way, if you don't care about books, I don't care. This is my channel. I can do whatever I want. So here you go with books. But yeah, no, her entire family is psychics, but she's not. But she kind of works as like an amplifier, and then she meets these boys that go to a private academy there, in that town. It's set in Virginia, and they like they kind of become friends, and she calls them the Raven Boys, and there are 4 of them, and they just go on adventures into magical forests, and it has a lot to do with like ley lines and sidekicks and magical kings, and it's so good, but at the same time it's not like high fantasy. I know it might seem like it, but it's not. It is magical realism. Like it's set in this world. It has a lot of like world, like, you know, real world things, but it also is kind of like a, I don't know, it's so good. And I have realized that like my favorite stories are about friendship, and yeah, I don't know, I like them so much. I have read Call Down the Hawk. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my shelf right now. I think it's called Call Down the Hawk, which is the first book in the Dreamers trilogy, which is a spin-off of the Raven Boys, because then you follow like one of the boys, Ronan, and I didn't love it, and from what I heard, it's not the same thing, but the Raven cycle will always have my heart. It's so good, it's so sweet. It's basically it's also basically just a book about friendship, and yeah, it's so good. I don't know what else to say. It's just amazing, and yeah, so I might reread that, but I'm not sure. But again, I have so many other books to get to. I'm currently reading 2 books. I am reading Little Women because, again, I have so many books on my TBR, like my physical TBR. I've been just like, I'm not even kidding, I've been randomizing numbers to be like, which one should I read now? Because I want to read them all, so it doesn't really matter for me when I'm reading them. So I have kind of been doing like a number generator for like, what book am I reading next or whatever. And the one time I didn't do that, the one time I asked like a friend to say a number between like this and this or whatever, I think it was like between 1 and 50 or something like that. Of course, he picked the number that correlated to Little Women, which I have been meaning to read for a long time, and I'm very excited to read Little Women, but I don't read classics. I don't. The only time I read classics is if I read them in school, when I was in school. I don't read them otherwise, and I find the language a little bit hard sometimes. Not hard, but it's not as captivating for me. Like I'm not like itching to pick up the book. So I'm listening to that through like audiobook, because I think it's just easier for me to do it like that. And so I decided to switch to another book for like my physical read, and I'm currently reading A Deadly Education. Sorry, I had to look to the side to where it is. And I'm really liking it so far. It's also YA. It's a YA magical-ish book. It is reminding me a lot so far. I've read like the first chapter or 2, but it is kind of reminding me a little bit of, what is that called? Oh, Rainbow Rowell. What is that one called? There are 2 magicians. What is it called? Oh my god, I'm gonna look this up. Carry On. That's what it's called, and the sequel is called The Wayward Son. That makes so much more sense. Yes, I knew. I kept wanting to say like Call Down the Hawk, which is the book I just talked about, but I knew it had to do with C. But yeah, Carry On, which is a very, very popular series as well. Well, it's a duology, and I did really like those books. I think the first one I gave 5 stars, and the second one I gave 4 stars. So I did really enjoy those books, but this one is reminding me a lot of it. I think mostly because it's set in this kind of like, you know, magical academy, that is kind of like, I don't know, and it has to do with like saving people, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that it just currently it is reminding me a lot of that, but I know it's not gonna continue that way, and I know it's not gonna be a gay love story, sadly. I say sadly because like it is Pride Month. I need to read some queer books this month. I do need to. I don't think I'm gonna do any special like builds or stuff like that wise for Pride Month, but yeah, happy Pride Month, everyone. Hope you're having a good time. Yeah, if you didn't know, I'm bi. So I'm with you guys. So yeah, Pride Month, great. It's weird though, because in Sweden we don't have Pride Month really, like we don't have like Pride parades and stuff like that until July. So June is like the Pride Month like worldwide. July is Pride Month in Sweden. So basically the entire summer is just Pride here, which is great. Like I'm not complaining about that. But yeah. What was it? I was talking about books, but yeah, if you have any recommendations, especially like magical realism or like mystery books, I know I talked about before how I kind of shying away from like YA, but I do love a good like private academy book. Do love those. Again, I read which ones are like that? I've read the Truly Devious books, or I've read the first two. I need to continue on that too. I know. And that is, I'm not even kidding. Like, the first time I heard about the Raven Boys, it was kind of pitched about that school, like the private school that the boys go to. So that's kind of why I picked it up in the first place. It doesn't have to do with that at all, but you know. So yeah, and then obviously I'm reading the book now that has to do with like a private academy, private school, kind of like going off, like, you know, kind of like an like abroad. What's it called? I keep thinking about the Swedish word world. Sorry, I just swore and I feel like it was kind of out of nowhere. So I although I do swear on the channel, like sometimes, I didn't want to do it that time because it was very aggressive. But yeah, no, it's called like boarding school, like where you sleep at the school and stuff like that. So again, do really love the Truly Devious books. The book I'm reading right now, Carry On. I was gonna say the Inheritance Games, but like that's not that. I mean, there is a private school involved, but that's not the main thing. There are a few other ones that I've read that are like that too, but I don't remember them. But I do love when it's kind of like also like a mystery one that is like set in a private school. That's also always good. I think one called like People Like Us or something like that, which was also really good. But yeah, I don't know. So if you have any recommendations like that, let me know. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you're reading too, if you're into books. If you're not, I am sorry. This was a very long rant about books. And my next video is going to be very book centered too. So I might probably talk about books in that one too. I am sorry. But again, I need this distraction. I need to do stuff. I need to do stuff. Like currently, I just want to be in my bed and cry my heart out. But I know, and like, I could, if I wanted to, like, if that's what I needed, then I would. But I also know that I don't want to do that. Like, I do want to do that, but like, I don't want to, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to keep myself busy and, you know, do stuff. And again, I'm very thankful to have my friends and family. But yeah, it's a weird time right now, but I'll be fine. I'm always fine. So yeah, hope you guys are doing better. Let me know what's going on in your lives. Hope you're doing better. Yeah, also, I don't know if I must have talked, I think I talked about it in my last video, but I have started to post shorts. So I think I posted like 2 shorts while I was gone, just to like give you a little bit of content when I couldn't do much else. So yeah, I hope you guys like them. And welcome to everyone else who's like new here. There's been a lot of like new subscribers and stuff like that, so hi, welcome. I'm very happy you're here. I'm Mal. I rant about books apparently. I like how, like, if you haven't been here before, you're definitely still not here, but if you are, like, congrats. Let me know in the comments if this is your first time here and you're still here at this point, like, how? But yeah, no, I'm Mal. I rant about a lot of things. I'm 19. I live in Sweden. That's about it, about me. I like reading. I like games. I like the color purple. Yeah, that's about it. If you want to join my Discord server, you can. It's linked down below. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't know. Oh, actually, I can talk about another book that I read. I'm sorry, this is so bad. Like, I need to not talk about books all the time. But like, this is the first time in a while that I'm talking about books, so I feel like it's fine. And I don't know what else to talk about. But I read another book too, like a couple weeks, I think I finished it like a week or 2 ago, called Ramona Blue, which I have not heard like a lot of people talk about. It's from 2017, I think. And it's a YA contemporary. It's so good. And it's so weird because like it's queer, and a lot of the time there are books about like finding your sexuality and stuff like that. Especially like YA books, it's almost all of the time it's about coming to terms with being bi or gay or lesbian or like whatever. So like it's basically coming to terms with the fact that you're not straight and like having to tell other people that you're not straight. But this book was so different from that, and actually good during Pride Month, I guess, but like it was so different from that because it was about a lesbian woman who realized that she's not a lesbian, that she is something else. I don't think they actually put a label on it, because that was also a huge thing, because like she wasn't ready to put a label on it, but she was interested in both men and women, and yeah, but she realized that like, oh, I'm interested in men too, but like now I need to figure this all out because like everyone knows that I am lesbian. And it was so interesting to see that, because again, it's not something that's talked about a lot of the time, because like it happens so often. And as someone again who's bi, and a lot of the time, like if I am with a guy or if I'm with a woman, like either way people are going to be like, you're straight, or no, you're a lesbian. Like I feel like that's like kind of a part of being bi, which is so bad to say, but I think that if you're bi you can kind of relate to it, like because I have only ever like actually been together with men, but I know that I am attracted to women. I do love women are hot and nice, and you know I love them for other reasons too, but I do like women too. But every time like I tell people that, they're like, wait, so you're straight? But I'm not. So yeah, I don't know, it was just very interesting to see that from I guess like a different perspective, and like other people again like coming to terms, because like her lesbian friend, like her other friend that was lesbian, like was like, I don't know, it was like having her come to terms with it too, and it was just so interesting. And yeah, I definitely recommend it if you want to read it. It's called Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy, I'm pretty sure it was called, or the author was called. But yeah, it was really good. And again, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. I do watch a lot of book talk, not book talk, book YouTube. I mean book talk too, but not as much. My TikTok is usually just filled with depression, puppies, random stuff, you know, just whatever. But I do watch a lot, like either this is what I watch on YouTube: Sims stuff, which usually involves just speed builds, because I don't really watch anything else, so just like speed builds, book stuff, or music stuff. That is literally all I watch. Those are like my main interests, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I watch a lot of like booktube, and like, I'm sorry, how does Kayla, which is books and Lala, not Kayla, not Lil Slimsy, not her, but books and Lala, not books by Lala, books and Lala. How does she not have more subscribers? How is she like not the biggest one out of everyone? Like, she has been my favorite since 2019. Love her. I get so many good book recommendations from her, and she's just so, I don't know, I love her. So go and check her out if you're into books. I also watch a lot of other book people too, but like her, like I always find myself going back to her videos. They're so good. It's like my Jessica Pye of booktube, if that makes any sense, because I've talked about before like how Jessica Pye, which if you don't know who she is, like where have you been? But Jessica Pye is like the best builder. I swear to God, I love her so much. Like her buildings are incredible. And honestly, my dream ever is just to like have interaction with her. It could just be like the fact that she liked a tweet of mine, like whatever, like that's just my dream. Like it's my dream. I love Jessica Pye so much. I sound like a fangirl, I promise. I'm not like that crazy, but like she's so incredibly talented. And yeah, so she's like, so books like Kayla from Books and Lala is like my booktube version of Jessica Pye, and vice versa. So yeah, and music wise, HT Hayes always gets me back into music too. I swear to God, like those are probably my top 3 YouTubers. I do love them. Yes, again, I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently because of this whole thing where I can't play games. But yeah, and what else? I've been watching other stuff too. Like I've been watching not a lot of anime, sadly, but some. And I've been watching Bones and yeah, just like movies. I rewatched 10 Things I Hate About You, which I have decided is my favorite rom-com ever and is one of the best movies ever made. I love that movie so much. And I swear to God, like I love that movie so much. It's so good. And I cry every time. At the end, like when she cries, I cry too. It's just so good. And I love that it's not like, I don't know, I love that it's not like too gushy, if that makes sense. Like it's not like, I don't know how to explain. I like it. I like it. It's not too cringe. I mean, it's cringe at some points, definitely, but it's a good one. And it's like, I think it came out in the late 90s, I'm pretty sure, and it's so good. Julia Stiles, oh my God, she made some great movies. Is she the one is it called The Last Stands? I think so. Also a great movie. Yeah, I don't know. Julia Stiles just was really killing it. Oh, and The Prince and I. Oh my God, it's such a good movie. Yeah, I guess you're just getting to know about like what I do in my free time now. But yeah, no, that's just such a good movie. Like, oh my God, I love love 10 Things to Hate About You. 10 Things I Hate About You? I think that's what it's called. I think so. It is really sad, though, that Heath Ledger is no longer with us. That makes me sad every time I watch that. But it's fine. It's okay. And yeah, what else have I been doing? I don't know. I haven't really been doing much. I'm trying to sleep, but also I can't sleep because insomnia. I actually saw a doctor today. I thought I was going to see a psychologist, because if you didn't know, I see a therapist, and my therapist had written like a thingy that was like, you need to see this, like a psychologist or whatever. And so I went to this new place, and they were like, yeah, no, we have a doctor for you. And so now I'm gonna actually see a psychologist. Like, that doctor is gonna like give me a thingy for like a psychologist. I don't know what to call it, like, write me not a prescription, I don't know what it's called, but he prescribed some other sleeping meds, so hopefully they work. Also, that doctor and I vibe so hard. Like, I have a few tattoos, if you didn't know, and one of them is a Studio Ghibli tattoo. He is the first person ever to realize what it was, and that was so cool. And then we ended the session with talking about Undertale. Like, loved him. He reminded me a lot of the therapist I had last year, which I loved so much, and I'm so sad he quit. Which, like, good for him, because I know that, like, I know he's good in, like, having his own life, which is, like, great for him, but so bad for me because I loved him. But yeah, no, like, when you vibe with your therapist or doctor, it's great. Also, I think my doctor now, I think he was like 22 or 27, like one of the two. I don't remember which one of them, but like one of the two. But it was just like, I don't know, it was a good doctor's visit. Like, I'm not afraid of the doctors at all. I see so many doctors. Like, the amount of medicine I currently see at my table, I take so many meds. I have to, though. I have allergies, and I have mental issues. Sounds so bad. I laugh away the pain. My doctor, like, the doctor I talked to today, literally said when I was talking about some stuff, because like, I had to talk about some, like, hard stuff and the stuff I've been through the past, like, year and stuff, and he was like, it's okay, you don't have to laugh through it. And I was like, that's how I deal. And he was like, I get that. So don't mind me if I'm laughing, especially nervous laughing. That is how I get through stuff. I don't know how people, like, do stuff without that. Like, I don't get how people, like, don't laugh away the pain, because that is a thing I do a lot of the time. And yeah, let me know if you're the same. Like, because the thing is, like, until, like, last year, I didn't cry a lot. Like, I cried maybe once a year, or no, like, maybe twice a year, and I didn't cry a lot, and I never cried in front of people. But, like, the past year, dear lord, do I cry. I cry so much, which is, like, a healthy thing to do, I think, but I don't know, it's weird for me, though, to also cry, because, again, I haven't done it in years, and now I actually let myself cry, and, like, cry around people that I feel comfortable crying around, like my mom and my cousin, and, like, my best friends and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, otherwise I don't cry, like, in front of people still. I don't understand how people cry in front of other people. I don't understand it, but, like, that's just a me thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, I don't know what else to talk about, so currently I'm just rambling about this. I am trying to fill up the voiceover. I'm trying here. I'm really trying. And yeah, also, by the way, I did cut out the hallway upstairs and a few other hallways downstairs, because this video is going to be, like, so long otherwise, so I hope you don't mind it. And I feel like this has become a tradition now, but if I had to pick a bedroom to have in this house, I mean, I have to say the purple one, but I do love the red one too. I do love the red one. I think the purple one, like, yes, I love purple, but this is a little too, like, cutesy. And I've talked about before how my, like, entire room is kind of, like, star themed, tarot card themed, kind of, like, celestial theme, if that makes sense. And I mean, a lot of the tarot card things stems from the Raven Cycle, because the Raven Cycle, a lot of that has to do with the tarot cards, which is quite interesting. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't believe, like, in astrological signs or in, you know, stuff like that, but like, I don't believe that, like, you know, that determines the person I am, because I do not ever feel like an Aries. I'm not an like I am an Aries, but I don't feel like an Aries. And I've talked about it before, but like if you can explain why I am in a rising Cancer and my moon is in Sagittarius, if you can somehow explain why that makes me not feel like an Aries, let me know. But yeah, no. So I would probably pick the red. That's what that color is called. Sorry, I'm out of it. But I would probably pick the red bedroom. But I do love the purple bedroom too, but it's a little too cutesy for my liking. Granted, I built it, but like I tried to build a lot of different rooms with a lot of different personalities. So even though this is not something I would have, I do still really like it. But also like it has some salt lamp. It has like a salt lamp. I said some salt lamps at first, and it doesn't have some. It has one. And it's still cozy, though. So, I don't know. Anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!